What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, get into the TA. Before we start, though, I'm going to remind everyone, hey, if you're finding value in this content, please support the channel with a like. It will help us push this content out to other individuals, and therefore the channel grows. So if you want to be a part of that growth, please help the channel out. All right, so we're going to start off here with Mr. VIX over here on the daily time frame, and then we're going to go over the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and I'm going to point out what I am seeing on the chart, and we're going to make this a quick one. Your boy does not have the most time today. But here we go. All right, so the VIX gapped up again, and boom, we have another opportunity here where people just literally got to sell these rips. All right, here on VIX, I was very vocal about it going on over here. You could tell, like, you're not just shooting up out of nowhere. No, it's like, no, okay, people aren't just being surprised here. No, everyone is watching. Everyone knows what is taking place. So each one of these rips, they're being sold. And all of these wicks, they're just showing us that puts are being, like, puts are taking profits and calls are being bought into these VIX rips, which means, you know, SPX is going down into these. It opened down here. All right. So I'm just saying, I really do think everyone's getting played right now, and I don't think a major crash is going to go down right now. I could be completely wrong about that. Everything you see here is just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I just really find it very hard to believe that this is going to be the case when we get this crash. Does not make sense to me. All right. But we do have FOMC on Wednesday. Obviously, everything is going to be moving off of that. So in the end, that will be moving the market. And technicals, I mean, obviously, I think the technicals are bullish. All right. We do have IWM over here on the weekly time frame starting to hinge up over there. You have DIA hinging up from the same spot you've formed every single other bottom here, this bear market. I don't think this is going to be any different. On top of that, we do have this pattern being held here, this bull flag. On top of that, it flipped the trend line and has not had a close back inside of its broken trend line. So I'm just saying, solid shot here that we get some upside, and we are pretty darn close to a bottom here. All right, so I'm going to point out something before we go over the rest. This is something I noticed this morning. I'm just saying, guys. I am just saying. All right, this like shouldn't be the case if we are about to see a lot of downside. I'm just saying. All right, IWM. This is the futures of well, this is the futures of the Russell, and then IWM is the ETF, the Russell 2000. But yeah, all right. So if IWM was open this morning, it would have ended up doing that intraday, even though intraday starts at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. You come over to IWM and you actually, first of all, what the heck is this wick? This is what I saw this morning. I don't know what the heck that is. Is that a precursor to what we're about to see? I have no idea. I don't care if you see that, but that would be phenomenal. That, honestly, I'm going to be honest, this is along the lines of what I am expecting. But I don't really want to have these expectations. All I'm looking for is a bounce. I'm saying this setup makes perfect sense for it to bounce. You did have an IWM come all the way down here to 168 this morning. You come over here to DIA's 4-hour time frame, and again, I mean, it's just holding these things. It's holding the bull flag, which, guys, so I made this top trend line, and then I just literally came over here, hit control, and dragged it, and that is exactly where that trend line came from over here. All right. Oh, hang on. I may have slightly changed these trend lines here. Regardless, you guys do see we still have the close inside of it, so we'll delete one of those. It's pretty close there, pretty close. And like I said, you're flipping that trend line. But yeah, now you have on the 4-hour time frame, you're also not getting close underneath the trend line, guys. That's where the buying pressure is stepping in. That's all I'm getting at here. All right, buyers are holding the line here, and I think that is that's good. It's a tell for what we are likely about to see. All right. So speaking of IWM, I just showed you this over here. This literally is the same on the futures on from what I've showed you on IWM. This is where you bottom every single time. All right. And it's the same thing I just showed you on DIA. Like, hey, every time you fit there on your weekly CCI, these have been your bottoms. Well, guess what, guys? This is probably not going to be any different. We're right here. All right. You had this massive rip there and went up and made a new high, and now you're holding this. All right. Now, something that could be playing out here. All right. So if we don't go up and make a new high, then this very well could be the case. Come over here and you have this big fat head and shoulders going on right here, which would be here, and then we would be looking for something of around this. All right, so we would be probably looking for a move up there, but guess what? From there to there, that's almost 10% right there. So I do think something like this is in the cards, or we don't do that. We don't form a lower high, and we do go up. And yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, guys, it makes perfect sense here to bounce. Technically speaking, it makes perfect sense to be bouncing. We're going to have to see what the Fed gives us on Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, I give it a strong likelihood that the Fed does not kill the market. And even if it does, maybe it just, maybe we rally going into the Fed, then the Fed brings us down, the market throws us a little temper tantrum, then we go back up. I told you guys in the weekly update what my expectations are, how the market is going to react to each rate hike. All right, I went over the 25 rate cut, the 25 BP cut. We have the Fed pause, we have the Fed. Well, so we have the Fed pivot, we have the Fed pause, we have the 25 rate hike, and then we have the 50 rate hike. Don't think 50 is going to happen. I don't think a rate hike is going to happen. I think what we have on the table is the Fed pause or the 25 BP hike, and I don't think a Fed pause happens because whenever that irrational exuberance rally ends, all right, whenever the short squeeze fuel is out, everyone's going to realize, holy crap, why did the Fed pause? Inflation's not coming down, all right? We literally have signs of it ticking back up. Why did the Fed just pause? And then months down the line, all right, or weeks, it could, I don't know. I'm just saying this is likely how it would go. You would get this massive rally, and then whenever that thing fizzles out, you're going to have the whole world looking at the Fed like, wait a minute, we just rallied and now we're here. Maybe we rallied all-time highs. I'm not saying that's there, but like, hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's just going to be looking at each other like, hey, crap, now that we rallied, like, why did we rally? And that's when, you know, market crash is like, you know, it's on the table. But if you get a Fed pivot, guys, I'm just saying, I think you might get a massive market rally to start off, but I think you would very quickly have that turn south, or that just starts turning south immediately, because we know that the whole thing with the banking system has been going on recently. So, you know, that's just my opinion, but the most likely scenario, honestly, is going to be that 25 basis point hike, and that's just because that would be how the Fed can show that, hey, they're not freaking out about this banking situation. They're also not backing down against inflation, even though they have hot data, all right? Because that's, like, why I think a Fed pivot would just automatically, like, maybe the big money that controls the market just starts selling this thing off, all right? And I just, if I am connecting the dots here, I think they would be connecting the dots. All right, but 25 BP hike, I think that really is the likely scenario here. I don't think we go with the 50 BP unless he really wants to show the market, hey, be confident in the Fed. Stop slapping us around, all right? We slap you around. We control the market, okay? Unless he wants to reaffirm the Fed's position, he's not going to go with that 50 BP, in my personal opinion. All right, something that I actually want to point out here is Apple. So Apple is breaking out not from my trend line, okay, my neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, which I already put a target on the board because we had this, all right? And I mean, this, listen, I call it a breakout, all right? We had the confirmed breakout over here, and then, yeah, your target is 159. We're getting pretty close to that, guys. This is why I put targets on the board. When they are on the board, I expect they will be hit. The VIX, all right? VIX, you know, VIX can be suppressed, and that means the targets might not, you know, it might not be hit right away, but yeah, we have this target for this wedge right here, and then that was hit. It wasn't right away. But yeah, like I was literally saying when we were breaking out, this thing's going to move in zigzags, all right? I was not expecting this thing to just rocket up, all right? So what I want to point out right now is we do have SPX at the 100 and the 200 MA. So the white line right here is the 200 MA. And then the other one, the red one, is the 100 MA. And that is literally where we got rejected from yesterday, or not yesterday, but Friday and today. And like, maybe you could say we got rejected there on, was that Thursday's close as well? And then we gapped down the next morning. So, or no, we didn't gap down. Never, I'm bugging. We opened right here and we sold off the whole thing. So there was that. All right. I'm just going to show you guys we do. So I switched this. So on Webull, I actually have all of my MAs up. I always have the Always have the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 up. But on here, I need all these different indicators. And there are ones where you can have like a set of them, but from what I experienced or what I saw here, yeah, they're off. The moving averages are off compared to like the actual moving average indicator. So I'm going to go with the actual moving average indicator. But yeah, here's the 50 MA, and I want to show you where this aligns with on SPY, guys. This is literally where I was saying like, hey, all right, if we get past here, that is where you have no resistance. See this big fat red bar here? All right, you see how that part of it is just, it's the only thing existing here. Like, yes, you're going to have this intraday high as resistance now. But after that, I mean, hey, you got $4 of upside there. Yeah, pretty funny how the 50 MA is right there. And as you see, we do have the 50 MA causing quite a bit of reactions here. All right, so now let's go over, let's just literally run through what I am seeing on the charts, like, you know, what we cover here day to day. All right, so you do have VIX's CCI, VIX's daily CCI hinged up off of the momentum sell line, and you do have your stochastic hinging flat right there. But then again, I mean, keep in mind, VIX is, honestly, guys, VIX is being suppressed. I told you guys, that is my personal opinion. People are being messed with right now. All right, your emotions are completely being played with. I don't think we're going to fall off a cliff, just like we haven't fallen off the cliff at any of these other bottoms. All right. People were, you know, I'm not even getting all the warnings that I was getting over here for being long. All right. I didn't get those warnings yet. Yeah, over here, I mean, the crowd was 110%, like the market crash. All right. Over here, 110% market crash. Over here, 110 market crash. All right. I think that's probably going to be the same exact scenario here. All right, let's actually let's go over this real quick, and then I want to show you what I'm seeing on the 4-hour time frame. So we come down here. SPY CCI is like literally hinged up from, like, it's just crossing the momentum byline and crossed a few days ago. It's like not looking like QQQs yet, where you are literally showing you're at a spot where you probably are going to start to see that pullback. And look, guys, yes, you are getting that buying pressure stepping in at that zone. You are flipping resistance. That is what you want to see. All right, now you did have that you have this on the hourly time frame. I drew this. All right, you have this little downtrend. Maybe it was the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, it's the 15-minute time frame. I drew this right here. All right, and you did end up getting your close over there, but you came back in, and now you are consolidating, guys. You are getting in this tighter range. All right, but yeah, coming back over here to SPY's daily time frame, you have your stochastic also, just like the CCI. It's pretty down there. Right, you have a lot of room to run. Now, the most important indicator here on everything we're looking at is going to be our RSI. All right, and just like I showed you guys, IWM's daily RSI and DIAs, like they suggest, yes, guys, we're right at a bottom. All right, SPY's is it's right there, guys. Literally, look, this is where we got here last time on the RSI, and you had a 10% rip. All right, now we went lower than that. I'm just saying, all right, if those things are suggesting we can run, or well, suggesting that a bottom is right around the corner, or we just like hit the bottom this morning with what I showed you here on RTY. All right. If that's happening and SPY is suggesting like, hey, yeah, it also has quite a bit of room to run here. I'll discount the crap out of QQ. I know why QQ is going crazy. All right. I do know. All right. The whole freak out thing, all of the spec capital has flooded back into QQ because of what is going on right now. But if that didn't go on, that wouldn't have happened. All right. And then we would have just seen technicals start playing out. All right. So I do think this is suggesting to us that, like, hey, all right, all of them are in agreement other than QQQ. They're all in agreement with each other. Like, hey, we'd likely have the Fed about to sweet talk us. I don't know if they are going to have an initial shock. All right. Because, I mean, they don't just want to give, you know, the market the green light to rally. That would be that Fed pause. They would finally give the bulls what they wanted. And that's why I think, like, hey, if you do get the Fed pause, that's when you get in a massive market rally. You're taking out this high very quick, guys, like extremely quick, because look at it this way. This whole rally was off of the Fed pause narrative. This whole rally, well, it's off the Fed pivot narrative, but a lot of people were just referring to the Fed pivot as the Fed pause, which is just like stop raising rates. All right. But in reality, like if they, if a lot of people knew what the pivot was, like, hey, it's not bullish. Like it is bullish in the short term. You can go look back on the 08 chart from when they pivoted and then did that. And yeah, all right, we should see that market rally, that explosive market rally kick off immediately. But down the line, you have your market crash. That is when the market crash happens. That's when the actual market crash, not what we've had going on here has been happening. No, that's when you get that. That's when you get that. That's when you get that. That is when you come all the way over here and you get that. That is the market crash. All right. That is what, once they pivot, that is 100% coming sometime in, call it over a 3 to 6 month period. All right. If I'm remembering things correct. Well, obviously not remembering, but I do look back at the charts clearly quite often. So yeah, if I'm remembering the charts correctly. All right. So let's move on though. Obviously, I already pointed out that IWM is over here with the bullish divergence on the RSI, and then RTY formed a deeper bullish divergence here. Actually, do we have, what is that? So that's 30, 23. We have a triple bullish divergence on RTY, guys. That is what's going on. As the RSI is in oversold territory on RTY, the Russell 2000 future here, triple bullish divergence. There you go. All right. There you go. All right. We discussed in the weekly video over there. We had the volume spike here that has been shown to mark the bottoms on IWM. Literally bottom right there, 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 bottom right there. I really would not be surprised to see like, hey, we just put in a bottom. I'm serious, guys. That is my personal opinion. All right. And then again, with what you got over here, like it just makes so much sense right now that something bullish is about to come out. All right. And like I showed you, all right, Apple is on its way to that target. And I did think if Apple hit that target, I thought QQ would end up coming up and hitting that target. It clearly is not the case here. But now that we have gone over everything, let's now look at the lower time frames. All right. And we can actually get that off of that. I can always just pull that up. Oh, and actually look at Bitcoin, guys. It is literally stalling out right at our next resistance zones. Guys, this is the point of TA, guys. This is literally it. This is the best. All right. Yeah, we connect the dots. That is what we do. We bring an order to the chaos here on the channel. If you guys like that, hey, this is the place for you. I'm telling you, hey, all right, I got you. All right. So over here on the 4-hour time frame on Mr. SPY, all right, what I want to point out is that we did end up holding this low, which that is what I was looking for. All right. We came up, made the higher high. All right. Because let's just wind the tape back. All right. Let's go back. Let's go through this trend real quick. Okay. We got high. We have low. We lower high. Lower low. Same high. All right. Lower low. What do we have? Lower high, because that was your previous high. Oh, lower low. Lower high, because look at that. Well, guess what? Then you came back. You made that higher high. Oh, you're stepping up. Boom. You got that higher high compared to that higher high. Well, that was the lower high. Here was the higher high. You came back low. And now I'm looking for you to break past 396. Was it 396.47? That is where 396.52, guys. We are, if you break past there, yes, we have confirmation that the uptrend is going to continue, and we're probably on our way to that 400 mark, which I told you guys, that is the psych level. All right. We are probably going to see sellers be lurking there. That is just typically what happens at these psych levels, 390, 400. All right. That is, oh, maybe I told the Patreon. Speaking of the Patreon, I'm going to let you guys know, all right? We are still killing it. If you guys would like to be a part of the trading community over there, $39.99 a month. And yeah, I will see you in there if that is for you. And let's resume the video. All right, jumping over to QQQ. Again, it's doing things that we like to see. All right, this is exactly what we're looking for. We're either looking for the buyers to step up here and hold the plate, or we are looking for them to step up here. Now, I did say that it is probable that we come down here, and that is where we see buyers just because of what we were seeing on the daily time frame over here. We did have right here, you have your CCI hinging down over here, and then you have your stochastic also crossing down from overbought territory. And the last time we saw this happen, you actually went up for another. So it happened on this day. I would say it. Oh no, I guess it really would. It would be looking like this day. Yeah, actually. All right. The next day you made that higher high, and then boom, you died off. All right, you died off, and from that high, you fell like 4%, I think. Yeah, just about 4% there. So that is the thing, all right? That is what I was, honestly, that is what I had as the likely scenario here on QQQ, all right? But I was also saying that, hey, the buying pressure is going to step in there, or it's going to come over here and step in here on SPY. Yes, we did hold that on SPY, and now we do have a higher low. So that is something that has taken place. Now coming over to, oh, and actually I'll remind you guys, hey, your 4-hour oscillators, guys, I mean, they're riding high. All right. I'm not even going to cap with you guys. All right. I do think you are going to be, moving higher. I do think that is going to be the case, going probably with what we're seeing right now, the fact that SPY held that low. All right. Unless unless you stall out here again and boom, you come down and break that low. Like, yeah, but that would likely happen today. So we're going to probably have confirmation going into the end of today. If we see this higher high here, or if we see the uptrend continue here, which, like, I'm not going to say it's a big uptrend. All right. It is not. All right. It is really not in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Like you could see QQQ clearly came up and made that higher high, clear as day. All right. But you have SPY over here, and the last major high was over there. All right. And your low was there. Now, yes, you came up and you had this high right here, and you came down and you had a higher low. But what if we just excused all this nonsense and boom, we're just looking for a higher high up here? I don't know, but I will also show you, hey, QQQ already told me that I should be looking for that higher low anyway, because it already did make that higher high, guys. That is what we do here. I told you guys, order to the chaos. We connect the dots here on the channel. That is what we do. So if you like that, feel free to join along. We'd love to have you. But yeah, actually, guys, I think that is pretty much it. I don't have anything else to show you guys. I'll leave you guys off with this. I know I said this earlier, but yeah, I mean, you're getting the buying pressure stepping on DIA's broken trend line. All right. I'd be pretty, I would be confused to see this thing take a dive. That is all I'm saying. All right. You have this going on right here as well. You have a triple bullish divergence on your RSI on DIA. That is on your 4-hour RSI on DIA, so that is also something to be noted. Now, here on the RSI on QQ and SPY, now this is something I said in the weekly update. This is what I'm going to be watching. This is literally what allowed me to mark the top last time. I didn't know that was going to be top. We never do. All right. But that is what I will be watching to see when sellers step in. I have a feeling that QQQ is going to run up and hit that, and that is when we start seeing sellers pop up. All right, and maybe it ends up being like that. Like literally SPY and QQ hit it on the same day last time. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like that. We will have to see. But yeah, I got you guys. I will be here almost every day. We do daily updates Monday through Thursday. Well, no, Monday through Friday, actually. And then we also have the weekend update that comes out every Saturday. And then we also have the written updates over on Webull that can be found on Webull. You could just search up Trader Henry J under people on Webull on the search bar. And we have those Monday through Thursday. And then we have the weekly update that also comes out on Saturday. If there is ever a time where I don't have this stuff out on Saturday, then you will have that on over there on whatever it's called on Sunday. And now I actually do with the Patreon, I do give them a midweek update and then a weekend update that is different from the one we have here as well. So, yeah, if you want to be a part of all that stuff, hey, you know exactly where to be a part of all that stuff. That is my content. If you guys enjoy the content, if you appreciate it, if you are making money off the content, even if you're just entertained off the content, please support the channel. All right. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, wait, actually, before we say peace, right, I gave you guys a Patreon trade idea. And yeah, that Patreon trade idea within, literally within one trading session, 2, 3, 4, you have, I think we're in the May expiration on that. It was up 60% today. So again, like this is what I'm saying. They are high probability trade setups. They will continuously be there. We are also up on IWM and SPY, but there is that, But yeah, just a quick little update there on the one trade idea that I gave you guys, just so maybe some of you guys could play these things with us, make enough money, be like, holy crap, I mean, I just paid for it. Let me go join these guys. All right, so there's that, some proof of concept for your ass. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.